Hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Far out, dude. I feel like this thing is like far out. Why does this thing want me to share this video with the LSU HSC Shreveport class of 2006? Yeah, I don't think anybody that I graduated medical school is interested in anything that I do now. Voted least likely to be of interest to her fellow classmates a decade or more later. Welcome everybody. It's an all new Monye Q&A with Dr. J, and I'm really excited about today's topic. First of all, we're going to start doing topics now, so that's new. Second of all, I love this topic because we can't talk about it enough. It's about not trying to do it all, especially if you're a woman, and the fact that that's unconsciously or subconsciously what's expected of us, and for us to be able to rewrite the rules of expectations for ourselves, and then, this is the harder part, to be okay with the rules and expectations that we write for ourselves and not give in to the guilt or pressure or opinions of others, right? So I would like to thank everyone who wrote in some questions. And let's go. Amy Fontenot says she's drinking her martini, anxiously awaiting this. Thanks for joining, Amy Fontenot. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment and I will get to them. But let's go live to the questions. I cannot believe it, but my question reader has agreed to come on camera today.
Well, that's because I'm 1 Moscow mule in. Well, 1 1/4. So I'm more amenable.
And you look great.
Thanks. That's what I needed.
So let's
Is
go.
this doing something to my eyes?
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Nah.
All right. Let's go to the questions, please.
Yeah, okay, well, we're going to start off with this multi-pronged question that we got from Samantha Fry. It has multiple prongs indeed, but it's fun.
She asked some really good questions. We love Samantha.
Let's start with part 1. Who is your therapist? Well, I'll take the lead on this one.
Go ahead.
Greg Gurin.
That's your therapist.
And I assume that's how he says his last name because I've never heard him say it.
We don't know. This question is prompted by the fact that I posted today and I was like, let's talk about motherhood and how it takes all hands on deck. And a question that we get a lot is, how do you do it all? And the answer is, I don't do a lot of it. I have a lot of help. And even then, I many times am barely keeping my head above water. So who is your therapist? Well, Jacob answered who his is. Mine is Laura Alderman, but I've also seen Claudia Harris in the past. And I'm okay with saying who my therapist is because I think everyone should freely and openly talk about going to therapy and who their therapist is and how amazing they are. I've been in therapy for, how long have we been married?
7 years.
So it was like 3 years before I got married. So I've been in therapy for a decade and I've had 2 therapists during that time. And something that I don't think Jacob would mind me saying is that
You should whisper it off camera first and then I'll let you know if I mind saying.
When we got engaged to get married, one of the first things we did was go to a therapist together. And it wasn't because we had any problems. I always actually was very attracted to the idea of what Catholics do, which is they go through like, I don't know, what's it called? It's like basically premarital counseling.
Oh, it's like that Robin Williams movie.
Like that Robin Williams movie?
Yeah. With Jim from The Office. I know what I'm talking about.
No, nobody knows what you're talking about. But they go through premarital counseling and they make sure that you agree on all the things that can really cause controversy in a marriage, which are money, sex, marital roles, and expectations.
That covers it.
Is that it?
I thought
That's like the big 3, right?
Those
No,
are the big
children.
Oh.
How to raise children, spirituality and religion. Yeah. So we went in and talked about all those things with a therapist. And then even when, you're talking about License to Wed. Brandy Nicole Bentley says the movie you're referring to is License to Wed.
Told you it's a thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandy. Anyway.
Hey, moving on. Let's keep it laconic.
Keep it what?
Laconic.
Laconic?
Laconic.
Okay, who's the English major here, buddy?
Because she was actually wanting to know if they practice/encourage holistic wellness.
My therapist, Laura Alderman, does encourage holistic wellness. In fact, one of the things that we talked about in our very first session together was how neuro-changing and life-changing meditation is. So, yes, she's a big fan of all the things. And our marriage counselor therapist, Claudia Harris, is also a fan of all the things. And I can highly recommend both of those ladies as therapists and counselors. They're amazing.
Okay, next part. What's your safe word? And parenthetical, do you have an action or phrase that indicates to Jacob/Jaya that you are at max burnout and need to tap out? Additionally, what's your go-to coping technique when this happens?
Do you know what my phrase is? First of all, safe word. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
That's why I tried to speed through it.
I do have a safe phrase, and it's basically, Jacob, I'm in the hole.
Oh, yeah, that is it.
If I say, Jacob, I am in the hole, it's bad. He knows it's bad. He knows we've been here before, and that, well, do you want to jump in? Basically, if I say, Jacob, I'm in the hole, like I recently did after completing a 13-day stretch, he knows you're not emotionally available to take care of our child. He knows you're not emotionally available to take on any extra needs or anything. And that basically Jay is going to check out for a while and she's going to go do the things that she knows will eventually make her feel better. And if we need help, we need to tap all resources, whether it's Judy or our parents or Amy or Versha, our friend. We tap into our entire circle. We're like, look, we need help, whether it's childcare, whatever. So that's it.
Tap into the village.
Tap into the village.
My safe word is I'm at max burnout and I need to tap out.
Yeah. Yeah, he literally says I need to tap out. Yeah. And so then we just have each other's back. If both of us are burnt out,
I don't know that we've hit that.
We haven't hit that, thank God.
It's kind of worked out that we can usually tag team it.
Yeah, usually one of us is down and the other is at least at baseline.
Got something.
There's
something about the other person asking. We're like, okay, I can do this. I can turn it up a notch.
Yeah. Or Ari goes to Alexandria for a week.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Amy just mentioned all the things that make me feel better. Acupuncture, therapy, maybe a drink, Superior Steakhouse Martini.
Healthy coping technique.
Oh, healthy. Nails, massage, all the things. And I do want to talk about acupuncture a little bit, but I know I'm like being wordy, so let's go.
What's your top 3 favorite oils? And if given the chance, what essential oil company would you endorse? Be careful with that last part.
Why?
I'm just telling you, be careful.
Okay, anyway, I literally sold doTERRA as a job for 2.5 years, and I still use doTERRA daily.
This is a touchy subject.
Brand
loyalty is a thing.
Brand
Don't
loyalty.
offend anybody.
Okay.
Have you heard of Young Living?
Oh, God. Okay. Anyway.
Do you even know what that is?
You sold doTERRA with me.
Whatever. I was just your administrator.
Anyway, doTERRA is my favorite. It's medical grade, therapeutic essential oils. I still use them all the time. I just used a mixture of aloe and lavender on Ari because he, like his mother, is genetically predisposed to very itchy mosquito bites. It's a thing. I found it out on 23andMe. And my top 3 oils that I use all the time are lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Yeah, we just said it today because I use peppermint all the time at work to treat nausea, headaches, and also to cool me down. Also, a great breath freshener. I use lavender all the time to soothe my skin or calm a burn or anything like that. And I use lemon in my water every morning to get my digestive system going and healthy and flushed out. And lemon, lavender, and peppermint. Honorable mention.
Frankincense.
Yes, frankincense is a game changer too.
Okay, and the final prong of Samantha Fry's multi-pronged question. What is your most recommended parenting-themed grounding motivational book? I believe Jay wants me to take this one.
Yeah, I don't read parenting books. I do read Bridgerton, but Jacob is better equipped to handle what's the best parenting book.
I don't know. I guess it depends on the phase. As far as parenting books I've read, I stuck to the Baby Wise series, the classics, Baby Wise, now Toddler Wise. And because I found... What?
And The Whole Brainchild.
I was getting there. Yeah, okay. Because those have good goalposts of like, hey, try to aim for this or that, or here's some nice things that you can try to instill in your child, but also don't burn yourself out trying to make this stuff stick. Like, take it one day at a time, and it's not going to be perfect. So they're very compassionate about it. And then, yeah, lately, because we're actually communicating verbally with the little guy named Arjun, The Whole Brainchild's good because it takes that approach too of, hey, here at an early start, this is how you communicate with your child.
Yas.
I'm enjoying that.
Yas. Next question, please, Laconic Kidum.
Oh, Karen Rimmer wants to know, what's your favorite oil for helping you chill out after a long day?
Lavender is my favorite oil to help me chill out. Also, Serenity. Also, if you use doTERRA products, the combination of Serenity and Balance is unofficially known as Liquid Xanax, or the anti-anxiety stress blend. So that's one of my favorites. Also, Elevation.
Ty Jinx would like to know, how do you keep your hair so beautiful?
Ty Cedars wants to know, how do you keep your hair so beautiful? You jokester. It's always up. Next question.
Ty Jinx also would like to know, how do I not get compassion fatigue, but also not get super, and that's in capital letters, depressed by the news?
I don't know. You basically have to have a meter of where you are at. And if you're getting compassion fatigue, you need to check out and take care of yourself. We can't, this is like that, what was that wine movie on Netflix with Amy Poehler? No, with Amy Poehler. Dang. It was like Wine Country or Wine...
Shock 2.
Stop! You were not helpful! Anyway, and she basically has a complete breakdown, and she's like, and the dolphins are dying, and their bees are going extinct, and like there's malaria, and there's school shootings, and she just can't handle it. And I feel like all of us, especially during the pandemic, have reached that at some point where we're like, I'm just one person, I can't fix all the world's problems, let alone my own. At that point, turn off the social media and the news, and you need to focus on your own little world, because you're no good to the rest of us if you're freaking out about everything.
Clean up your room.
And clean up your room.
Focus on yourself first. That's my hot tip.
Make your space beautiful and clean, and just start with the smallest thing that you can do.
Inside out.
Inside out, baby. Next question. There was one more question.
Well, Ty Jinx also would like to know, can you judge the Bolton Debate Tournament in November?
Yes, I can judge the Bolton Debate Tournament in November. As a former captain of the Bolton High School debate team, I would be honored. Thank you. I was co-captain with Jim Abear. I feel like I should say that. Lastly, to wrap this up, thank you guys so much for your questions. I actually did want to talk about, I worked 13 days straight. I was at the end of my rope and just completely fatigued. I didn't even have the energy to cry. That's bad. I went to see Emily Cady, who's my acupuncturist, and she talked to me about some really important things that hit home that I'm going to be writing about in my blog. So if you're not signed up for my newsletter, please go to jmcsharma.com, scroll all the way to the bottom and sign up. But basically, she talked about if I'm holding on to toxic beliefs about myself and my life, like, oh, I could have been this, oh, I'm not good enough because of that no amount of external healing and solutions will ever be able to compensate for any kind of toxic self-beliefs that I'm holding and carrying around in my heart. So it doesn't matter how many diets I go on, how many Peloton rides I go on, how many ounces of water I drink. If I don't address what's going on inside my head and my mind, it will never get better. And I'm so sad that I do no social media Sundays, because I read so many good things in the New York Times, and I always want to share it with y'all. I lost it. Oh, there's this article. It says you can be a new you after the pandemic. And the reason I wanted to share this is because it talks about at any age, your personality is not set in stone. Our personalities are more like sand dunes than they are in stone. They talked about people who go to therapy and the therapy process behind neuroticism, which is the trait most responsible for anxiety and rumination. And just listen to this. Although it tends to decline naturally with age, there was a huge spike in the pandemic. One review of studies found that a month of therapy, any kind of therapy, reduced neuroticism by about half the amount you might expect to see it naturally decline over the course of their entire life. This article is telling you that you could do a month of any kind of therapy and it will be more beneficial than if you don't do therapy the entire rest of your life. So what I'm trying very poorly to express to y'all is once you start taking care of the things and the weight that you're truly carrying around inside of your becomes much easier to solve. If you don't address the root cause of why you're unhappy or why you're burnt out, then everything else is just a Band-Aid on an open wound. And also to say that please don't think that anything that you're doing to help yourself is stupid. Emily Cady, my acupuncturist, told me about flower essences, which you can get at Drug Emporium by Bach Remedies, and they also have bachremedies.com. And the essence of a flower is the soul of a flower. And it sounds so hokey. Look, I went to medical school. I know what this sounds like. And she does too, which is why we're able to speak openly about it. But she told me to get oak and rescue remedy and holly, and that those things would help with self-love as well as endurance, which is really what I need. And when I tell you, I noticed a very big uptick in my positive thoughts, I'm not lying. Now, you may think, oh, that's placebo. I don't care. Whatever works. If placebo works, then great. But it was just very, very telling because I had a certain amount of thoughts really revolving around the idea that we can't do it all by ourselves. And when I went to my follow-up visit with her, she said that's the thought that oak is associated with, that it takes a village and there's no shame in the fact that you can only do a limited number of things with your time and energy. So this has been the most rambly Monnier Q&A with Dr. J. Jacob is out. He has a mandate with his friend Josh.
Yeah, don't out him. He didn't want to have his name out there.
Joshua Munns. And he says to keep it laconic. Thank you for joining us today, Jacob. I hope that you guys got some good tidbits from this. We're a little bit all over the place because it's straight from the heart. And I hope you find a way to take care of yourself this evening and this week. And I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Jaya McSharma, and to check out my website, jayamcsharma.com for more. Much love, peace, and thank you for joining me. So good to see you, Miss Rosemary Robertson Smith, Mrs. Smith, and Charnay McDonald. It's always a pleasure to have you watching and just to know you as a person because you're awesome. Thank you, guys. Bye.